It is 3:17 in the morning. The phone on the security desk is ringing, and the young man sitting beside it has been told very clearly never to answer it. His hand is already moving toward it. This is the story of the night Caleb broke one of the rules, and of what those rules were quietly keeping out. Because some jobs come with a list, and on the night shift, in the wrong building, that list is the only thing keeping you alive. Caleb was 24 and broke. The kind of broke where you stop reading the job description and just ask when you can start. The posting was simple: overnight security. A condemned 12-story building on the edge of town, half emptied, waiting for the demolition crews that never came. The pay was 3 times the going rate for a job that was on paper just sitting at a desk from 10 at night until 6 in the morning. He should have asked why a sitting down job paid like hazard work, but Caleb needed the money badly, so he didn't ask. The man who interviewed him barely looked up. He slid a single laminated card across the desk and told him to read it. Twice. On the card were the rules, 11 of them, printed neat and small. The man said only this: follow every line every night and you will be perfectly fine. Then he added one more thing as Caleb stood to leave. He said the rules are not suggestions. They are the reason the last 3 guards all went home safe. Caleb noticed he had said the last 3. Not all of them. The last 3. He decided not to ask about that either. Rule 1 was ordinary enough. Do your rounds every hour on the hour, never early, never late, and always walk the exact same route. Rule 4 was where it began to feel strange. The service elevator, it said, only ever stops at the floors that you choose. So if the elevator opens on the 7th floor and you did not press 7, do not step out. Do not look down the hall, press the lobby button and wait. Rule 6. Between 3:14 and 3:21 in the morning, the desk phone may begin to ring. Do not answer it. It is not for you. Rule 8. If you hear knocking from inside the stairwell, it is only the old building settling. But if the knocking ever answers your own, leave the stairwell at once. And Rule 11, the last one, underlined twice. Sometimes you will see a resident. There are no residents. Do not speak to them. Do not help them. Do not let them follow you home. For the first week, nothing happened at all. Caleb walked his rounds, watched the clock, and told himself the whole list was just one old man's superstition. The building was just a building. Dusty halls, dead apartments, a flickering light on the 3rd floor he kept meaning to report. Empty and quiet and dull. Then on the 9th night, the elevator doors slid open on the 7th floor, and Caleb had not pressed 7. He stood very still inside that little steel box, staring at the open doors, at a long, dark hallway that he was absolutely not going to look down. He pressed the lobby button exactly the way the card said. The doors closed. And from the hallway he was not looking at, he heard something take one soft step. After that, Caleb followed the rules to the letter. Every line, every night. He never called them superstition again. The phone rang for the first time on his 14th night, at 3:16 exactly. He sat on his hands and stared at it until at 3:21 it stopped. It rang the next night and the next. Always in those same 7 minutes, always stopping at 3:21. And every night it grew a little harder not to answer, because the ringing did not sound like a fault on the line. It sounded patient. Like something on the other end knew he was right there and was willing to wait. Now Caleb's mother had died the winter before. They had not spoken in 2 years when it happened, and he had not reached the hospital in time to say goodbye. It is the kind of thing that sits inside a person. The unfinished sentence. the call you never got to make. And the building somehow seemed to know exactly where to press. On his 22nd night at 3:17, the phone rang, and through the receiver, even before he touched it, he was certain he could hear a voice, humming a tune his mother used to hum, one he hadn't heard in years and had never once told a single living soul about, drifting softly from a phone he was forbidden to touch. And that is where this story truly began. 3:17 in the morning, his hand moving toward a ringing phone against every single rule on that card. He told himself it was just exhaustion, just grief, playing its tricks. He told himself there was no harm at all in one quick listen. And he picked it up. There was no voice, no humming, just a long, soft hiss like wind in an empty room. And then very close to the receiver, the sound of someone slowly breathing in. And then it spoke. It did not use his mother's voice, it used his own. His own voice, calm and certain, said two quiet words. "Thank you." Caleb dropped the phone. The line was dead. The clock read 3:22. And the building, which had been so quiet for 22 nights, was suddenly no longer quiet. Down the hall, the stairwell door opened. He heard it. The slow groan of a heavy door, and then footsteps, unhurried, crossing the lobby toward his desk. He remembered the rules. He kept his eyes down on the desk. Do not speak. Do not help. The footsteps stopped just on the other side of the counter, and a voice, kind and tired, asked him for help. It said it could not find its apartment. It said it had been looking for such a very long time. Caleb did not look up. He did not answer. He gripped the edge of the desk and waited, and after a long moment, the footsteps turned and moved toward the elevator. He thought he had survived it. He thought if he could just hold on until 6, until sunrise, he could walk out and never come back. And then he made his last mistake. He looked up, just for a second, just to watch it leave. And the thing walking toward the elevator was wearing his jacket and his boots, and it walked exactly the way he walked. It stepped into the elevator, turned around, and looked back at him with his own face. It smiled at him. And then it reached out and pressed the button for the 7th floor. When the morning guard arrived at 6, the desk was empty. Caleb's coffee was still warm. His phone, his keys, and his jacket were all gone. The security footage showed him doing his rounds all night, calm and steady. It also showed him, at 3:22, stepping into the service elevator and never coming back out. Both things on the same tape at the same time. The police watched it 4 times over, then quietly classified the case and stopped returning the family's calls. The building was never demolished. The permit stalled. The company folded. And it still stands today on the edge of town, dark and waiting, with one light on the 3rd floor. And they still hire a night guard. The pay is still 3 times too high. And every new hire is still handed a laminated card with rules printed neat and small. Except now, there are 12, because at some point, someone added one more line at the very bottom, in pen, pressed so hard it scored the plastic. It reads, "If you see a young man doing his rounds who does not seem to work here, do not speak to him. Do not help him. And whatever you do not follow him. He is not lost. He knows exactly where he is. He is simply still trying to finish his shift. And after all this time alone, he would very much like some company. So if you are ever broke enough take a job that pays far too well in a building far too empty, that hands you a list of rules that make no sense, follow every line, every night, because the rules were never there to protect the building from you. They are there to keep what is already inside from finally getting out